is it will get mean. Hey everybody, welcome to the Snark Tank Podcast, episode 102. Derek is back from war. He fought off the Russians. And
I got my crazy pills from my shell shock.
Yeah.
I got all my PTSD pills.
Yeah, man, you're going to need them. You know, around all those disillusioned Russians who just don't want to be there. It is such a crazy, it's a really sad situation, but also it's like a crazy situation because every time I see videos of Russian soldiers, it's just like, they're just like, man, I don't even want to be doing this. Like
Yeah,
they're not fighting for anything. They're just like, they told us to come here, and Russia has like a conscripted military where they just have to be there. So it just sucks for everyone involved. But
they're literally doing this for like one guy, literally one guy. This has nothing to do with nationalism or anything that gets them pumped up. You know, things that got us pumped up to be in the Middle East and blast brown people. It's like, we got to be over here because they're going to come over here, you know, and they're like, yes, sir. You know, like they're all pumped up and shit and ready to just like, you know, just spray loads of brown people. Like just we got to do it. And this is totally different.
Yeah,
totally different and sucks.
Yeah, it really
fucking sucks.
It's a really bad situation. We talked a little bit about it last time. You weren't here, but
yeah,
because you swapped places with Sweeney. Now Sweeney is in Russia fighting.
Yeah, he had to go. He had to go now.
Yeah,
he apparently they had a big problem with like Putin had an announcement about Miles Morales and how it's just an abomination and Miles Morales is not Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and that was the final straw for Sweeney.
Says, who is little black boy slipping from rope in city street? Not my Spider-Man. And Sweeney was like, "Nah, that's it. I'm gonna throw hands now." So Sweeney's gone. He'll be back. I'm sure he'll be back next year. If he
doesn't end up like
next week, if he doesn't end up killed in action. But
or in a POW fucking with McCain arms, you know, where he can't
oh my god,
his hands are too fucked up and he can't play games anymore.
How quickly do you think Sweeney would crack under the pressure of a POW? I feel like really swiftly.
I think as soon as they shut the door, he'd be like, "I'll tell you anything you want. Please, God, don't do anything to me." And then unfortunately they'll still torture him because he doesn't have any information.
Yeah, they're gonna think he's lying. It's like, no, I don't. His fingers are all gone. It's like, I told you I can't play. How am I supposed to play D&D with no fingers? You fucked me. Oh my
man, that'd
god,
be so fucking great.
Poor fingerless POW Sweeney. Poor guy.
Just fucking, he just looks like Patrick Starr. Just has fucking these stumps. That'd be fucking.
Oh my god.
That'd be pretty cool though. Then he has an eye patch for some reason.
Yeah, that would be an interesting arc for him to go on. I think I've been telling him to get a new arc for a while because he's just been the comic book dweeb for a really, really long time. And I keep telling him, you got to find some way to get put some edge on your name. You know, like make a music video where you threaten to bury Pete Davidson alive and walk around with his disembodied head. I was watching. So if you guys are unfamiliar with this, Kanye West and fucking Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian, they're all in this fucking weird, irritatingly ubiquitous feud that I can't seem to. Everything I've learned about this has been against my will. Like I have not seeked out any of this information. It just finds its way in front of me, and so your punishment is that it's in front of you here too, and I'm going to act as the thing that I hate and put this in front of you. But did you saw the video, right? That he did?
I saw clips of it. I saw the main parts, the parts that are important.
Yeah. It's a fucking disturbing video, honestly. It's like a little off-putting. It's not the most offensive thing I've ever seen.
Right.
But the context of it is very bizarre. I just don't understand why you as like a borderline billionaire, you know, you have so much money. I don't think Kanye's a billionaire exactly, but he's pretty. I mean, he's fucking loaded.
He might be.
He may be. I don't know. Does he own Tidal or is that Jay-Z? Who owns Tidal? I mean, there's no way that's worth $1 billion, but
I mean, he's got he's got his good music thing, which is I think is Tidal. I think.
Who owns Tidal?
I don't fucking know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, I bet Sweeney would be losing his mind about just facts like this.
Oh yeah,
because I know he.
So it's. I was right. It's Jay-Z.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah, but
yeah.
You know,
I think because of his clothing and all that shit, though, he probably has like $1 billion.
That's probably true. But he's a loaded guy. Is
right.
The point that I'm making? And I don't know how you could be so famous and so rich, and then constantly put out content that makes you look like, I mean, quite frankly, like a bit of a cuck, honestly. You know, like just to be so upset still that like your ex is with another person. You know, like it just seems a little fucking bizarre that you would want to paint yourself as a really jealous individual, like on purpose. It's strange.
Do you think that this has anything to do with the fact that it's Pete Davidson? You know, like it's because I mean, even a part of me would be a little upset if like I split with my chick and then she got with Pete Davidson. I'd be like, that guy. Like, I know he's fucking famous and shit, and then all these girls just say, oh, he has a big dick. I'm like, okay, you guys sound really fucking shallow now. But what other characteristics does he have? Because I've given him a shot. I watched a clip of his stand-up to see, let me see if this guy's any good. It was very just, I'm a fucking trashy white guy from Staten Island. I have black friends. Like it was not good. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah,
I just don't think he's funny.
I've seen a couple of things that I think are funny, but it's not particularly consistent.
Out of so much shit that he's done, you're gonna get some things that are right. Like out of so much stuff he's done, there's gonna make some stuff that's gonna make you chuckle. But if I pull up, it's like when I watched Naruto. I think it was Naruto, yeah. And I pulled up it was like the best clip or whatever, and I was completely unimpressed. I'm like, okay, nope, I'm good. I'm good on this shit, dude. Like if the thing that has the most views pops up and it doesn't like do anything for me, then I can just say that you fucking you're no thanks, man.
I don't know.
I don't want to have to search for your gems.
Do you think it has something to do with the fact that on SNL like a long time ago, like he made fun of Kanye a little bit, where he was like, hey, where he went like it was like it was that bit about like you know, oh, he's off the meds, and he went like, take him, it's fine. And that was a pretty good bit, to be honest, because he was like, if I went on a plane and the pilot was like, I just want you all to know this is the real me flying, I thought it was a decent bit. But like that was a while ago, you know, that was like 2 years ago. That I feel like that was pre-pandemic almost. Although at this point I don't even know how long to fucking. I feel like that's been going. I feel like this whole thing's been going on for fucking 5 years. But I don't know. Just I feel like it
that
makes
could be
you. The issue is like, even if it was, if the reason is because it's Pete Davidson and you can't comprehend how someone could possibly, it's almost worse that you're portraying yourself this way if that is the case, because then it's like, if you really felt that way about Pete Davidson and you were like, oh, what a gross guy, then you'd be like, oh wow, that's a major downgrade, way to go, you know? You almost wouldn't even say anything. But the fact that he's like, you man, fucking this guy, I'm gonna write a fucking music video where I do the fucking what's that fucking person's name? The comedian lady that held Trump's disembodied head up, like in 2016.
She looks like Andy Dick.
Yeah, fucking. Oh my god.
I can't remember her name either.
How the fuck? Why is that such
Kathy
a
Griffin,
blank?
Kathy Griffin.
Kathy Griffin. Yeah, I'm gonna make a Kathy Griffin-esque video about fucking about Pete Davidson and constantly tweet about him. It's just bizarre, man. I don't know. Like I can't imagine being that famous and doing that to my own image. You know, it's just bizarre. Right.
Did you see that chick that he was briefly dating Kanye after, to, you know, obviously to get back at Kim because he has no interest in her? She was some model. I don't know her name. but she became famous, even more famous than she already is, because she was talking about the director of the movie Uncut Gems for some reason on a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And it went insanely viral because the way she said Uncut Gems. Did you see that clip?
Yeah, it's like Uncut
because she
Jams.
says it in the most Valley Girl fucking, like, it just makes you want to, like, I want to hit people so hard that talk like that have that upspeak, vocal fry shit. Uncut Gems. And I'm like, how do you get there? How did this become like a language? How did this become a part of the English language? You know, and it spreads because I knew somebody that lived in close to Dallas, Texas, that talked like that, born and raised in Texas, and I was like, how did you start talking like this? How did you develop this shit? It's like fucking nerds, right? You know, there's a lot of nerds that they have this nasally fucking and then they talk. You know the Reddit people. You know how how nerds are portrayed.
What the fuck you're talking about? There's a
you know
nerd
exactly what I'm
accent?
fucking talking about.
Wait, do it for me. Do an impression.
So the guy's name is Simon or Melvin, and then he is nasally, and he's like, I talk like this. Like, it's like anytime like they're like portraying it on like television or some shit.
Like
and then
Mandark?
actually, kind of. It's kind of like that, but not as high.
Actually, now that I think
as,
about it, I think you really should put that gun down.
There's like a thing that
no one did
like,
anything.
I've been around enough nerds and like comic shops and stuff that there are people that speak like that, and I don't understand. I was like, how did this happen? It's like it becomes a language within a community of people. They like take on that identity. Like the vocal fry shit and the upspeak.
Yeah.
These are people, like, because I'm like, well, this isn't a language. This isn't like a dialect from a specific region. You know, people all spread around will start speaking like this.
Yeah.
It's weird.
The
it's
Valley,
so fucking weird.
The Valley Girl accent isn't even really all that common in girls from the Valley.
Right.
Like, I've never really... I've heard maybe 2 people with that accent in my entire life. And I think both times it wasn't in California. It was at like PAX or something. And like just random people was like, oh, that's weird. That's interesting. I haven't heard this actually for real.
Yeah, the reason... Like, I think the reason why... Because it was... We none of us... I never talked to those people in the... Like, Valley people that I talked to were... fucking like Mexican Valley. They're like all 818 homes and fool and shit, and like they're all into guns and shit. But then there's like the Valley that like nobody went to. I don't go to fucking Calabasas and Encino and all this shit and talk to all these rich ass fucking white people. I never spoke to them. So how would I even encounter these people?
I'm trying to be a SoundCloud artist, man. But ain't nobody wants to listen to my shit no more, man. Yeah, fucking.
I know quite a few people from the Valley that are just like that.
Yeah, it's exactly. Have you seen Smiling Friends yet?
I haven't watched it all in entirety.
There's a clip of a guy that sounds exactly like that, and it's fun. It is one of the most perfect impressions of just some random street man in LA, and it is the most satisfying. If anybody's listening to this, look up DJ Spit Smiling Friends, and it's the fucking it's one of the funniest things I think I've ever seen. But yeah, I don't know, these accents pop out of nowhere, almost like they're just invented, and then because they're in media that's popular, people grow up with it, and they like assume that that's how to speak, and then it becomes real. It's almost like being manifested by like fake shit, because it's not those aren't real accents. Like, I've been around 100%. A lot of nerds, and I don't know anybody who ever sounded like, excuse me, I got a fucking, I got a TI-83 calculator in my backpack. Like, the fuck, who are you?
There's like it's weird. You have to. It's still, I guess it's those people that just like you said, they see an example of something and then they just latch onto it, because most people, like the nerdiest people I do know that, you know, work at a comic shop and everything, they're normal people. However, some of their recurring customers are the fucking weirdest people I've ever seen. There's a guy that would come in there and play D&D and Warhammer and shit. He was wearing... Did you ever see the movie Unleashed with Jet Li? I don't know if you've ever seen that. But it's just basically
a long
it's
time
like,
ago, like once.
He's all fucking like he's like a savage. This guy trained him to basically be like a dog, right? And he keeps a collar on him, and then he has to take off the collar. Whenever he takes off the collar, it's like it's time to fuck people up. It's a stupid premise of a movie because it's like, why don't people have guns and just shoot him? But he just does his fucking martial arts and fucks everybody up. As a martial arts flick, it's a fun ass movie. Stupid as hell as a concept. However, there's a guy in that comic shop wearing a fucking collar, like a metal unleashed collar, like a fashion thing. And this was the weirdest kid ever. I'm like, what is happening? Who is this guy? That's my friend. I was like, I don't know. He just comes in and he plays with us sometimes. He's a fucking weird motherfucker, but I hope that'd be fucked up if he listened to this. I'd feel really bad.
I forgot. I kind of forgot that comic shops had that section in the back with like the tables, like where people can actually like play things. Like that's like it's such an ancient memory because the last time I remember seeing anything like that was in a Dragon's Den in like maybe like 2010 or like 2011, where I was like, wow, people are in the back like playing card games. Do you have to pay for that? Like, what's the purpose of like? You know what I mean? Like, how does the company or the store get value? I guess people just I guess it's like a loyalty thing where it's like, hey, we have a place for you, so we build a rapport with you, and then you come here and you spend money. Because it's not like you have to rent a table, right?
I think that's how it started, but I think now there's memberships. I think you buy like, become a plus member or whatever, this fucking thing, and then you can come and then we do things these specific hours. At least that's how I think it works. Because my friend, I think that's how he operated his comic shop. Fucking, I think he's a manager at one. God, he's been working there fucking forever. It's just weird. I'm like, he's just that guy. He's the comic guy, and he tells me all the cool stories about gross people and then people trying to steal shit, and they're all fucking terrible at steal, because like people that are trying to steal comic books, they're not like thieves,
Yeah, they're not fucking.
So they're fucking.
They're not sly. They don't have like plus 20 sleight of hand.
Yeah, they're fucking insane. Terrible.
They're the most nervous looking people in the world. It's like, hey, you look like you've clearly stolen something.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's so tempting. I will say though, man, it's so tempting to steal from those places. I've never done it, but they have so much cool shit just laying out on shelves. Like right. I remember seeing like, oh wow, there's just a fully functioning N64 just on this shelf. Like, if I really didn't care about my own well-being, I could easily take this and sprint. And no one would be able to stop me. Especially nobody there. Because, I mean, let's be real about
they're not going to do shit.
Let's be real about the clientele. But, I don't know, man. It's been a while since I've seen a comic shop. The Dragon's Den that was around us closed, like, years ago. So I forgot that they were even a thing.
Yeah, they're still, I mean, they're definitely shrinking, but... Yeah. Because it's just less and less people wanting to buy physical things. I mean, even myself... It's been years since I've bought a comic because I think it was just at a whatever convention I went to last. I bought something because I've been wanting this, but I don't read comics anymore because I kind of screwed myself with audiobooks and podcasts. Now I'm always doing two things at once. Where if I'm listening to something, I'm also doing this. I'm working on a project, whatever. And now when you read a book or a comic, you can only fucking like really pay attention to that. You can put on music in the background, but you're not really paying attention to what you're listening to, right? It's just on for ambiance, and then you're reading your comic or your book, and now I can't fucking do anything else. And so I kind of now I have to it's all about audio now to me. So it's like, fucking read this shit to me. Tell me some shit so I can also play a video game, or I can work on my podcast, or I can do whatever else.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it too. Like, because I even when I'm like, because I feel like if it's hard for me to sit down and like read a book. That's why audiobooks have been like a fucking savior for me for a while. Because like if I want to read something, chances are I'm going to get it on audiobook, because I can't bring myself to sit there and read something and not do anything else. I got to be doing something. Even with like video games, which is like typically like, I mean, when I was growing up, it was always like, that's a waste of fucking time. So like even now today, where it's my job to play them. And even when it's my job to stream them, it still feels like, oh man, I'm not wasting my time. What am I doing? Even though I'm not. But just having shit to listen to is way, way, way nicer. But you can't really like listen to a comic because so much of it is the art, you know? Like,
right.
So much of that is like the art design of it. Did you ever
100%.
Did you ever see that Spider-Man comic that was animated or not animated, it was like drawn or not even drawn. It looked like, oh my God. It was like this Spider-Man comic that looked like it was Gary's Mod 3D models or like Cocomelon 3D models. And it was just like still frames. And it's like an official Spider-Man comic. Hold on. Spider-Man.
I've definitely not seen that.
Awful art 3D comic. This is, I swear to God, this is real. I saw it super fucking recently and it blew my fucking mind. It was disgusting. No, I'm never gonna find this. Somebody please in the audience verify that this is real. It looked like they were using like, not Cocomelon. Cocomelon's a bit of an exaggeration, but it looked like they were using like MTV, like that weird 3D Spider-Man MTV show assets, and they were just like, and it looked like they were just staging scenes with the models and like taking screenshots of it and using that as like comic panel art. I swear this exists. I just have no idea how to Google search this. I'm going to rely on comic nerds, encyclopedic knowledge of this stuff.
Yeah, somebody will find it because I don't see anything that would resemble that.
I know. I'm searching keywords, search. But I'm like Spider-Man. Oh man, it's I should have saved it. I should have saved that. I thought I would easily find it again.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I know. Fuck, I rely so heavily on Google. I just like assume like, oh, it's there. I'll find it when I need it. And then when I remember it, I fucking don't remember what I searched. I think I just stumbled upon it too, so I didn't even search for it. It makes it even worse. Because I would have to like completely retrace my steps on some random day in 2021 that I can't fucking remember to find it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what people come up with. Otherwise, it might be gone, man.
I hope to God someone knows what I'm talking about. Because otherwise, it sounds like I'm gaslighting myself. Like I'm lying, like I'm Full Metal Sheening myself. But I swear this is real.
Full Metal Sheen.
I swear to God this is real. But
dude, hold on, man.
What?
I had there is something that maybe people could help me find this because me and one of my roommates tried to find this. I remember there being a cartoon that was like Little Bear. You remember Little Bear? I think that was on like Nick Jr. or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And like it had like parents that had a fucking suit on, or the dad had a suit, the mom had a dress on or whatever, but like Little Bear was naked. It was weird. So it looked like this. From what I remember, this is what it looked like. This is like how, I'm a stupid kid, so my memory could be so bad. But here's the thing: it was a family of wombats. It was a cartoon like that. But it was a family of wombats, and one thing I remember specifically is that the dad, as a catchphrase, would always say "extraordinary." That was like his thing. It was almost like Excelsior, you know what I mean? But he would say extraordinary, like things. It was almost like teaching a kid a cool word, and that was his catchphrase, extraordinary. And I can't remember this show. I looked it up, man. It doesn't exist. Like a wombat kid show. I put in Nick Jr. I put in PBS, everything. Like I couldn't find fucking anything. One thing I always remember is that family explaining to other people within the show that they're marsupials, right? Because it's like, well, we're marsupials because, dumbass American kids don't know what that shit is. So it was like kind of teaching you about different animals and dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
And I can't find a speck. I was like all 90s Nick Jr. shows. I tried searching everything, PBS shows, whatever. Nothing. And I'm like, dude, don't tell me I made up an entire show. Like a show that just does not exist.
I felt that way for a long time with that the Jumanji show.
Oh no, I remember that dumbass show.
Wait,
do I? Actually, that's not true. Go ahead,
No, because when I was younger, I remember, like, I was really little. It must have been, like, first grade or second grade. I remember waking up and watching that show, but I couldn't remember that it was from Jumanji. And for years, I was like, I would tell people, it's like, do you remember a show that looked almost exactly like the Wild Thornberrys, but it just fucking wasn't? Like, it just wasn't that show, but I swear to God it existed. It had, like, similarly ugly faces, and they were in, like, the jungle or something, and the guy had, like a gray, like explorer's suit, and everybody would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? The Wild Thornberrys? I was like, no, it wasn't. And I felt like a psycho for, like, for a good, like, 15 years until I mentioned it on stream or something. I think I mentioned it on stream, and somebody was like, oh, that's Jumanji. And then I Googled it, and sure enough, it was like, oh, my God, that's it. But I just remember it as Wild Thornberries because I was just too young to distinguish between them, I guess.
That's like what that's the way that people will help you find stuff. I don't know if I said this on the podcast, but I had one of those obscure side-scrolling beat-em-up games that I used to play in the Boys and Girls Club when I was 10 years old. And I couldn't find it. The only description I would say, there was like a red and blue warrior, and then there was the big, strong guy like they always have in the beat-em-up games. And then there was a girl, and this was the most distinct thing. There was a girl with brunette hair, and she had a pink thong on. She fought in a pink fucking thong. So I'm like, if this thing exists, this would be easy to find. And the only thing that I found for years was just another guy that posted on a forum in 2005 looking for the same fucking game. And so I had given up for a long time until 2017. I just asked Twitter. Yeah. And then someone was like, oh, Zero Team? And I searched Zero Team, and all of a sudden, there's like Zero Team footage fucking in 2014 was uploaded by people playing all this shit. So it started getting widespread. But for a while, there was no people in the game. So
yeah.
Moral of the story is never fucking give up. 1 year, there might be some information available. So I may not be crazy about this Wombat show, but
maybe not. I will say, doesn't sound familiar to me at all. Like, even slightly. But I wouldn't be surprised, man. There's a ton of shit I never saw. Like, I actually never saw Street Sharks growing up. I thought that, like, I found that on YouTube, like, way later. When when people would make, like, videos about, like, top 10 fucking most ridiculous TV shows, and it's like, Street Sharks. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, Street Sharks was awesome because they caused billions of damage. Like, they killed people. They killed people, and then they caused so much damage to the city. Like, I remember when it came back on Netflix for a little while, and I told everybody, you're dead to me, I'm watching Street Sharks, and I was so shocked that I'm like, I can't believe they just made this. These guys are supposed to be heroes, and they're wrecking everything. It's like worse than, the thing that they tried to do with Superman in the DCEU. Like, oh, he's fucking everything up. He's scary. I'm like, dude, Street Sharks, every time they set foot, they were a fucking menace. It was a fun show, though. I will say, I had some of the toys. I would watch Street Sharks, I think, at 5 a.m, and then I think, Christ. Or it was the other way around. I would watch Ronin Warriors, which was like the first anime I've ever watched. It's a fucking terrible show, but it's just near and dear to my heart. Yeah, it's absolutely horrific, but the toys were cool.
It's like the Ghost. You ever see Ghost Stories?
I don't think so.
I'm sure you must have. It's apparently this anime. We talked about it last time on the podcast because Sweeney. It was like a question somebody brought up for Sweeney, but it was this anime that was so bad in Japan, like everybody hated it, that when they ported it over to the U.S. and tried to get a dub for it, the company was like, "Do whatever you want, like we don't care."
Yes.
And it's got that fucking rabbit. It's got that rabbit that goes like, and like there's this one moment specifically that I fucking love where it's like, "I can't be your friend anymore," and then it cuts to like a rabbit like on fire or like transforming or something, not because you're a rabbit, but because you're black. And, like, all this crazy shit. And it's really the dub. But I thought for years that was, like, an edgy, abridged series from, like, a bunch of random people. But it was, like, the real English dub. Right. Was just that fucked.
My friend's, it's amazing. My friend's, like, a massive weeb. He told me about that. for a while he was kind of like going really hard in the paint on anime, and I was getting kind of uncomfortable. But he did show me some shit like that where I thought that was pretty awesome. And they were showing me other shows like this show called Girls Bravo that is just, I'm like, this concept is so fucking stupid. Like, this kid gets sucked down a bathtub and into a universe where there's only 10%, the entire population in that world or whatever is just 10% men. So anytime girls see like men or whatever, they just attack them. Essentially, they just want to just ravage them because they're so scarce. And then he's the shy, his nose bleeds around it's one of those type of shows. And I'm like, this is so fucking stupid. Like,
I hate that shit.
Like, it's so fucking dumb. I did enjoy, I don't know if you watched Tenchi Muyo back in the day.
Oh no, like I had a very limited anime intake.
It was like Toonami shit. Like, it was a very similar concept, but it wasn't as ridiculous. But house full. He lived all the alien girls and he lived with all the girls in the house. They all took refuge in his house from whatever reason, and then most of them were trying to get at him, and he was so like, oh. Just like, I'm a little bitch, and then everybody, the audience watching, you're basically supposed to have the like, oh, so lucky. If I was there, I would do, and you're a kid, obviously you wouldn't do anything, but that's kind of the feeling that it's supposed to give you.
Yeah.
It was a fun show. I mean, it was a fun show, but the concept is such a, I think I would love to make one of those just because it's such a stupid trope. Like, oh, the shy retard guy. Well, he's not retarded, but you know what I mean. He's just fucking just no game. He's just no game, and all of a sudden there's women surrounding him all of a sudden.
Yeah. That's so many of those. There's so many anime like that. It's insane. But all right, so we were looking for things to talk about today earlier. There's not really much going on. There's a lot going on in the game space, but we can get to that like towards the end of the main chunk of the show here. I wanted to just bring this up because it warmed my heart. Spider-Man 3 was trending out of nowhere, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Why is this happening? I love Spider-Man 3. The internet loves Spider-Man 3. We all know this. But normally doesn't trend, really. Unless it's like an anniversary or something. It's like, oh, May 3rd comes around, and it's like Spider-Man 3 Day, and it's like, cool. But there's this video going around. It's been shared by like 1 million people. It's on the one I saw is on IGN, but I'm sure like it's been posted 1 million times. This fucking kid, he must be like, how old is that kid? You figure I'm really bad at identifying the ages of like
probably
really small
he looks like he's like 4 or 5. I'd say like 5.
I would have guessed 2 because I have no concept of how old a child is. But but he's like he's like in the middle of some like middle school dance, and he's doing the Spider-Man 3 dance, and it's perfect. It's like a perfect, like I think I saw a side by side, and it literally matches the time perfectly, and I'm just like, this is insane. And it's like a fucking 3-year-old or whatever the fuck, so it's like extra impressive that movie's gonna last forever. That movie will never get old.
Oh right, it's one of those things that like my favorite content online is YouTube poop, like just anything that's like that where you take sentence mixing or anything related to that. And there's certain metas, right? And right now, like, we're still in the Sam Raimi YouTube meta. Like, it's lasted for years. It's probably the longest lasting out of any meta that I've seen, because like I'd say Beauty and the Beast was a long lasting one for whatever fucking reason.
I do remember that. It was all this stuff with what's his fucking name, Jean?
Gaston.
It's a bunch of Gaston YouTube poops that I remember seeing. And thinking, this is fucking ridiculous. But
that one lasted and then Hank Hill, King of the Hill, obviously, and then just the Spider-Man shit is so good, man. The whole fucking Bully Maguire shit is just beautiful. And it's cool to see little kids embracing it that obviously weren't alive when this shit happened, right? So you got to think the parents are big fans, you know?
I'm just looking up Gaston YouTube, but there's so fucking many of them. It's insane.
Dude, I have some of them saved on my old hard drive, probably from like 2009, 2010. because I was like, I need to preserve this shit because it's Disney, so obviously a lot of this stuff gets taken down. So I have like old fucking YouTube boobs, just like this guy Waxinator. He was big on making them. Dude, I love him.
5 years ago, Emilio the Burrito is the channel. 2.5 million views. Gaston, but every time someone says Gaston, he eats 4 dozen eggs. And like, there's this great one. The biggest, my favorite one. Maybe you've seen this, maybe you haven't. Is the one where he gets cancer. Have you seen where it's his bald head? It's like someone edits him all bald the whole time. It's so, dude. The Gaston era was that was some good shit.
Right. Those are still some of my favorite ones. There's one called I think it's called LeFou's Quest 4, and it's like LeFou is in a video game, and then he keeps getting killed, but he has his lives and stuff. Gaston punches him at one point and he dies, and it makes the fucking Mario death song. I mean, that sound when Mario dies. It's so well done.
These are ancient too. These are like really old, because like I'm looking at the first one that comes up when you type Gaston YTP, and it says Gaston's ultimate mission to obtain some Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, but it says in parentheses Waxinator re-upload, and the re-upload is 7 years old. So it's like
I have the original Waxinator one saved on my hard drive for this very reason, because like they get fucking taken down, and I'm like, dude, this needs to be. I learned my lesson, because there's a video that does not exist on the internet anymore, and I don't know the person who made it, because his channel got deleted, so you can't even see the name of his channel. But the video is called Fresh Prince Gore, and there was a meta. That existed from 2006 to 2007 of mashing Fresh Prince dance clips and death metal, and that's all it was. They would literally just, for some reason, I remastered one called I forgot what it's called, Fresh Prince Death Metal or some shit, whatever. But Fresh Prince Gore was specifically, this guy would slow things down and speed things up to sync with the song perfectly. A song called Parasite by Flesh Rot.
Yeah.
And it's such an amazing video, and it does not exist anymore. And I learned my lesson. Ever since that, I'm like, dude, that shit's gone, and it can't be. So you need to save these awesome videos. You see some old ass video, you like save it, because it might something might happen to it.
Yeah.
And then it's literally gone. Like there's nothing. I don't know who to reach out to find this person. Because I know it's probably still on his computer or on his hard drive, but it can't be. It disappoints me so much, and I don't have the patience to try to remake the video myself, because it was pretty thorough. And I'm like, fuck that, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, no, that would be a lot. Those old videos are a lot of effort went into those. No way you're gonna recreate it. There's some things like that. There was like this great. Every now and then, like, I'll luck out with that thing. I'll find something that I think is either really cool or really funny, and out on a whim, I'll just be like, I should download this, just in case. And then, sure enough, like a week later, it's gone. Like that's happened to me at least like 4 times in the last like couple years, and it's it's a good habit to get into, provided you have the space for all that shit, because if you're watching some long shit, maybe that won't be the best idea, but
I
don't know, for that shit. I remember hearing this weird remix of like, man, I should probably look back. I think I re-uploaded it to SoundCloud because I was like, I want to keep this, but just some really like unorthodox remix of, like, I think it was like a Rise Against Ellie Goulding remix, and I was like, why the fuck is this so good? And I downloaded it because I felt like it was gonna get struck, and it did like 2 days later. And I was like, I got it. I'm the only one in the world with that fucking song, probably.
Yeah.
But
yeah, maybe.
I definitely just stole it from somebody, by the way. Like, probably not cool, but that was a long time ago, so I plead ignorance on that.
Man, I think you have to do that. I think it should almost be an obligation when you see something that should be timeless, but it may not survive, because of copyright or whatever. I think like their first thought should be, let me download this just in case, and then you can re-up. Like, I don't mind when people re-upload things and they give fucking credit and stuff like that if the thing is gone. Like, oh shit, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's not there anymore. People need to see this. I don't mind that.
No.
It's the motherfuckers when they're uploading shit when it still exists. That's the shit that bro, go try to find my parody I did of The Rock, that gay rock thing. And, you know, that shit has been shadow banned or whatever. It's just you can't search it. But there just so many exist of other people uploading. I'm like, God damn. It's fucking crazy. But I'm like,
you know
hey, whatever.
You know what you should do? You know what? I'll tell you after. I'll tell you after the show because I think it's genuinely a good idea. But I don't want somebody to do it before, you know what I mean? But yeah, fucking that kid is gonna have a bright future if he can already dance like that.
100%.
In the meantime, though, this month has been fucking wild when it comes to fucking video games. I don't understand what the hell happened this February, but it's like a uniquely good February. February usually sucks. For people who don't pay attention to like the games industry or like game releases, February is usually like nothing. I remember when I think Resident Evil 2 Remake launched around this time, and everybody was like, wow, this is amazing that we're getting one great game in February. Like, it's not a common thing. And then all of a sudden you had like, hey, here's Dying Light 2. Here's fucking Sifu, which is like surprisingly fucking good. Here's Elden fucking Ring from Software and George R.R. Martin. Here's fucking the like unanimously agreed upon like the best Destiny expansion that's ever been released. And it's like, it's really daunting as someone. Oh, Horizon also.
Yeah.
The new Horizon, which is also really good. It's fucking stupid. I've been streaming like crazy these last couple days because it's just been, I've had so much to stream. And it's awesome to just have this much stuff to play at once. Even if it is a little bit, you know, it's a bit overbearing.
It's a little much, man. It's for the layperson that doesn't play video games for a living. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how do you handle this? Like, say right now, I'm swamped with music projects.
Yeah.
So I was like, why the fuck did I buy Elden Ring? I don't even, because I played, but in the hours that I should be sleeping, really. And so I'm playing, and I'm like not sleeping as well. And I also thought about it. I'm like, this is not only is this an open world game, it's a fucking Soulsborne game where it's gonna take way more time to beat because it doesn't tell you where the fuck to go. Mm-hmm. And the bosses and the regular fucking just anyone on the map could fucking kill you, and then you have to restart. You know, so the only thing that I'll give it is that there are so many fucking grace spots. There's so many.
Yeah,
like it's not as bad as like some of the older shit where the campfires were very limited, and that shit would fucking make me want to kill myself. But I haven't played anything else that you mentioned. Because I just don't have time. But Elden Ring was like, okay, of course I'm gonna play that. Like I've been waiting for this shit for a while. And I just feel I'm like, fuck, man. I feel like I remember when I was steadily working, my 8-hour job, and then I would take a couple of hours, so I'd ride my bike home, and then I'd go to the fucking gym, and then I would eat dinner, and then I would maybe have 2 hours maximum to play video games. Yeah. And like I remember that time, and it would take me forever to progress through anything. And I kind of feel like that right now. I was like, it's gonna. I don't even know how I'm gonna beat this game or win.
Dude, if I was 14 when this game came out, if I was 14 when Elden Ring launched, this would have fucking consumed me. It already kind of is. I streamed for 13 hours the other day because I was just
Hassan?
Like, huh?
I said, "What's up, Hassan?"
Yeah. I added like a Hassan mode scene to my OBS. So like whenever it's usually like, oh, I gotta go get something to eat, so I'll leave my chair empty and I'll have like the Hassan mode above my camera, and it'll be like in the Grand Theft Auto font, and I'll just play people's videos.
People still that's fucking great.
For a little bit. I'll actually credit him, and like I won't watch the whole fucking thing. So I'm not that much of an asshole. But it's fun.
It's still I like it though. It's still I still like it. That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, it's it's fun. But I think I don't know, man. This is something else. I have not played a game like this in a long time that has felt this fucking insane. And just like, yeah, it doesn't tell you where to go. It doesn't tell you anything. It doesn't have a quest log. It doesn't fill your map with markers. There's no like beacons in the sky to chase. There's no conversations that you can have with people that like, you know, that, oh, well, I'll mark this on your map. None of that shit. It's all like, hey, you go explore and find shit. And it's just fucking incredible. Just how dense the fucking game feels. Like, it doesn't feel... It feels like an open world game because you can go anywhere, but it doesn't feel as empty as most open world games feel. Like, I feel like most of the time when I'm playing an open world game, I'm just wandering through empty space, not doing anything. But
right.
Every, like, square... Like, every 10 seconds, it feels like there's something that's trying to fuck you up, and it's something that you haven't seen before. Like the variety of like enemies that you're facing in this game is fucking wild. I can't believe it's really embarrassing compared to a lot of other games. Like when I think of like even games that I love, like games like God of War 2018, where you had to fight that same troll like 40 times. Like
yeah.
And he was just like a vaguely different color, and you're like, damn, this game in the brief 20 hours that I've put into it, and I'm only in like the first area, there's already like, I feel like 15 different enemy types, and I haven't even seen even remotely the majority of the game, or been to even remotely as many of the areas that there are in it. It's this has a real shot of being like one of this has a real shot of being like this generation's Skyrim, I think. Just the thing that's like, everybody's playing it, everybody's obsessed with it. It's an RPG, it's a hardcore RPG, and it's fucking genre defining. I love games that don't tell you where to go, that don't fucking crowd your fucking list of bullshit with like meaningless objectives that just blend together that feel completely meaningless, and you're just like, oh, what the fuck is all this? Like the Assassin's Creed like checkmark style bullshit. Just get out of my way and let me play.
Yeah, I think there's a healthy balance where only because, and this is just me being strapped for time. Yeah. The only thing that I'm like, since I don't have a lot of time to play, I was like, damn, I can't enjoy this genre of game that like the From Software's games right now. Even if I played regular fucking Dark Souls, I was just starting for the first time right now, I probably wouldn't be able to enjoy it as much because I just don't have a lot of time. And this makes it way worse now because this is like, this is exactly what people that like love Dark Souls 3, this is like it on steroids, essentially. It's just all the roids have been pumped into it, and I absolutely love Torrent. Like, Torrent's the shit.
Dude, a double jumping spirit horse? That is so sick.
I love, like, dude, it's like fucking people up while you're riding Torrent is so fucking satisfying.
Yeah. like swinging the sword like on either side of you. It is. Yeah. I don't know how they managed to like make really, really perfect horseback combat, because usually that shit sucks.
It's fucking gay.
Like I tried that shit in The Witcher, and I'm like, this is so bad. It's astonishing, and it's terrible in Skyrim. Every game I've ever played with horseback combat is just terrible, but this one's like, you can parkour around with this fucking horse. You can jump in one direction and then like trigger the double jump to go back in the direction that you came from, so you're just like zigzagging around on a fucking spirit horse. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but it's awesome, and it's so fucking fun. And I don't know, man. It's so good. I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, it's so good. I wish I had more time.
I know. Yeah.
I really want to just sit down. I may just like one day just be like, all right, today's my day off. I'm not doing shit, and then just play all fucking day because I really want to. I've explored because I love that with Torrent. I'm allowed to. I can really explore a lot, and then I really get to see how much of this I cannot fuck with, because there's so many. I've ran into so many bosses that like they're so. I'm like, God, okay, I definitely can't. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here. I found that fucking boss, that the one that whoops your ass in the beginning before that chick. You know, I found that motherfucker, right? Like, I think it's like northeast or something.
Yeah,
like, it was like that bird motherfucker. I think it was like a bird. Wasn't it like a? Isn't it like a bird or something? Wait, what whoops your ass first? I thought like when the first boss you encountered that you obviously aren't supposed to beat, but I'm sure some autist motherfuckers like beat it.
I actually don't know. I think I remember it being a spider lady, but it might be like I don't know. Like I
maybe it is. I think you're right. I think I'm misremembering. But all I was trying to say, there's this piece of shit bird thing like northeast, like it's like as far as I can go, that I thought maybe because it's so reckless, I thought maybe it can fall off the cliff and stuff, because I know like say the torrent beast in Dark Souls, the first one, the second boss, you can get it to fall off, and I thought maybe there's something I can do, but it has wings, but it doesn't seem like it seems like it's chicken wings, like it can't just stay but it can just use it to maneuver, but no, you can't. They designed it to where it can't fall off. And I was trying to beat it crafty, but no, I think I just have to come back when I'm actually leveled up.
That's that's kind of the thing. Like I don't know, like I don't have a lot of history with Souls games. Like I played Dark Souls 1 a little bit, and I couldn't do it. Like it was just, I didn't have the patience. It was too hard. I feel like I didn't have the time, and also those loading times back then were fucking egregious, and I couldn't die that many times and then wait several minutes to load back to the fucking beginning. I was just like, this isn't for me. And then I tried fucking Bloodborne, and I was like, this is definitely better. I like this more, but I don't know. It's okay. It's good. I don't have a problem with it, but it's not exactly my cup of tea. And then Sekiro came out, and I was like, this is my shit right here. Sekiro, I think honestly, just because you can jump. Like,
I knew you were going to say that.
For real. Like, I just think, like, just being able to jump changes the game to me, because I don't feel stapled to the ground like in Gears of War or anything. I feel like I can actually, like, fuck with people. And I feel like it adds a new dimension to combat where you can jump slash and do all this cool shit.
It definitely does. I'm more used to that. Like, say, the original God of War series, I'm used to jumping and stuff like that, aerial combat. I understand the reason why they don't do that, because they're trying to make their literally grounded and more realistic, because think about actual fighting. Who actually jumps when they're fighting? That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing where it's like, okay, I get it. I get what you're trying to do, but I'm also playing a fucking video game. So,
exactly. I'm basically just doing Sekiro again. Like I'm like this shirtless bandit guy with like a katana, and that's what I'm doing right now. Like a dexterity build where I'm just going around being like some fucking secret samurai. And it's awesome that you have the flexibility to do that, because really I never really played any other Souls games enough to really fuck with builds at all, because I only really went through Sekiro, and Sekiro is one build. Like Sekiro is a very focused game. It's very like Mega Man in that way, where it's just like, this is the game, and you're either going to be good at it or you're not. You can't fucking level shit up. You can't fucking pick a flail or a mace to cheese a boss. It's just like, you got your sword and fuck you, you know? But it's cool to have that flexibility to just like fuck around and like use a sword that's 10 times your size or a fucking katana or a flail or a mace or a whip. I found a whip.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with that thing, but
that's the one cool thing about like that, like Dark Souls game. Even in the fucking, I actually never, because Demon Souls was just too. I don't have a PS5 or anything, so I haven't played the remastered one or anything.
That's a good one.
But like, say, I want to play it. I think I'm gonna get like say for example, if they pull a fast one now, because it's been a long time. Maybe since you're on your Sacred Symbols. I know a long time ago they said that God of War Ragnarok or whatever is gonna be on PS4, but it's been so long since that was said. I don't know if that's still the plan. Like, what if they're like, well, what if we just put on PS5 now?
I think it's going to be cross-gen still. I think it's the last. I think they've promised it for too long to not deliver it on an entire platform that they've been accepting pre-orders for. I don't think they can get away with. I think they must get that out on PlayStation 4. But I think that means that game's coming to PC at some point, which is good. I do think Demon Souls is probably going to end up on PC, like the remaster, at some point. I don't know when, but it's only been a year and some odd months since Demon Souls came out, so it's probably going to be at least like another year or so before it's really back on the docket. Although maybe, I don't know. A lot of games that we thought were not coming to PC have come to PC. Horizon, Death Stranding, God of War, fucking
God of War is fucking insane. That didn't even. Yeah, that's the flagship shit, and they're like, yeah, all right, no problem.
Yeah, like if they're gonna put God of War on PC, I don't see why Demon Souls would be so special that they would like, no, this is a PlayStation exclusive. No, just put that on the PC, man.
I remember when God of War 4 was announced for PC, immediately, I think almost trending even more than God of War was fucking Bloodborne. People are like, all right, cool. Now, hey, go talk to fucking Bloodborne people, please, because what the fuck?
That's the sticking point. The thing that throws a wrench in that whole conversation is, it's been a long time. Why is Bloodborne not on PC?
Right. I think that came out in like 2015 or some shit.
Yeah, that was 20. Was it 2015? It must be, right? Because 2014.
I think so.
Yeah, because I remember 2014 was a bad year for video games, and that could not be. Bloodborne release date. Yeah, March of 2015.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, because I think Game of the Year in 2014 was like fucking Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah. That was a dire time. That was when the Master Chief Collection launched, and it was broken for months. That was when that was when vanilla Destiny was out, and like nobody understood what the fuck was going on, and the story was terrible, and I liked it, but there were a lot of problems with that fucking game. That was definitely like a 7 out of 10 max. Especially at launch. That was a rough fucking year. 2014 was embarrassing. 2014 video games. Let's look at this fucking list. You had Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which everybody hated.
Oh, with the kid diddler, right?
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
you had Titanfall 1, which which was good, but also it's not Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 is fucking amazing.
It's complete. It's like a complete game.
It is insane to me that Dragon Age Inquisition won Game of the Year. What the fuck? I mean, there's actually there's actually way better shit here.
I think Middle Earth, I had more fun with Shadow Mordor.
Yeah, me too.
I played a lot of Inquisition because I'm a fan of Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm a fan of the Dragon Age series.
Yeah.
But I will say I had more fun playing Shadow Mordor for sure. Unity was a broken fucking mess. Assassin's Creed Unity, that was hilarious.
Fucking
that was
Watch
hilarious.
Dogs.
oh yeah, that was another one that
Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, that weird prelude thing that was 3 hours long.
Right. Did you play I skipped Far Cry 4. Did you play that one?
I tried, but I don't know. Like I really liked Far Cry 3 a lot. Like I sunk a lot of time into Far Cry 3, and I was just enamored with it. I think something about the tropical setting and just the villain was awesome, and the fact that your main character actually spoke and interacted with the fucking person. That was just a really solid game. Like that formula is really, really overdone now, but at the time that was a really solid game, and I fucking loved it. I couldn't put it down. But when Far Cry 4 came out, I remember playing it a little bit and feeling like, I don't know if I care about this villain all that much. I don't know if I care about the gray Himalayas. I don't know if I care about the fact that my player character doesn't say anything. It was just a very, I don't know. And then I played Far Cry 5, and it was kind of a similar thing where it's like, there's cool ideas here, but this is starting to feel a little samey and bland.
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking. But man, I don't know, man. Watch Dogs. That's some pretty good shit right there.
I think I played 15 minutes of Watch Dogs.
I beat Watch Dogs. I finished it.
Did you?
Yeah, because I think I was so hungry for like a Grand Theft Auto type game to play on my new console, and GTA 5 either didn't run super well on the next gen consoles or just wasn't available at all. I can't remember which one. I think it might have just run worse.
I think it was on. I think it got put on in the next year, 2015.
I think I'm not super sure. Something was really fucky about that game that I can't exactly remember. But I was really hungry for a game like that. So I bought Watch Dogs and I played it and I was like, "Oh, it's like Hacker Grand Theft Auto. I'm kind of liking this, I think." And I gaslit myself through the entire game. Like I was just like, "This is good. I'm having fun. It's the only game I own, so it has to be good." And I don't know. Honestly, in retrospect, it was fine. It was like a mediocre game.
Yeah.
A lot of the fun I had was just like making up scenarios in my head. You know, just like, oh, I'm a hacker and I don't even care about this guy's story, but I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like,
I should probably give it another chance because I didn't play enough of it where I was just like, I don't care about what's happening, and then I put it down.
You don't have to give it another chance. I wouldn't say it's worth going and revisiting. I'm just saying it's like it's a perfectly fine mediocre game to waste time with. Although maybe if you can get it for like how much do you think they're selling with the original Watch Dogs for?
Oh man,
Watch Dogs PS4.
Dude, it's like a fucking cup. A cup, what do you call it? A cup. What do you put your cups on the table?
Coaster.
Thank you.
What do you put your cups on?
It's like I couldn't think of the name.
So it's $12 on eBay. That's still too much, I think.
That I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. I would pay like $7 on like if I can get like a Steam code or something.
Yeah, like $7 max.
Max, you know, that's like what I'm saying. I was like $6.99.
I'm thinking even worse. I'm even being more greedy. I'm thinking like $3.
No, you're right actually, because I mean, there's some games that I have in my wish list that will be like that. What is that game called? Damn, it's that one of those bullet hell games. And it's normally like $10, and I think it's on sale, probably like half off. And I'm like, not yet.
I found it. What? I found it. So I put it out on Twitter. Thing? So I put it out on Twitter because it was killing me. Somebody responded. It's called Spider-Man Quality of Life, and if you Google this, if you guys Google this, I swear to God, it looks like fucking butt ugly Martians, but it's an official fucking. I cannot describe to you how hideous this game, this fucking comic series is.
Quality of Life, huh?
Yeah, Spider-Man Quality of Life.
And
it's real.
Wow.
Are you seeing this?
God. Oh my God.
I'm so glad I'm not crazy.
Your lack of wit reveals your abundant fear. It's
that's
the
a real
worst Doc Ock I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's a real fucking comic panel from that comic.
Wow.
It's like fucking Jimmy Neutron or something. It's such a terrible art style.
That's incredible.
It's so funny too because it's like that's a genuine panel from the comic, but it's not even lit. It's not even like they have these models and like, okay, we have these like really ugly models. Let's like do some lighting with the scenery to like make it like look like let's darken the background. Let's edit it in Photoshop to maybe like make it pop a little bit. It's literally just, it looks like screenshots of a terrible PS2 video game.
Right. It really does. It really does. That seemed. I want to know the explanation for like the people that made this. I want to know why. It has to be a joke. Like, hey, let's this is gonna be funny, kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Like, just make some bullshit because it's gonna be funny. You can't make this and be proud of it.
No way.
You can't be like,
it's such a fucking interesting thing that exists. Like, it only ran for four comics.
That makes sense.
Yeah, there's only four issues of it.
Those are pretty cool collectibles, though. Actually, I wouldn't mind like owning that shit. Right?
Oh yeah, no, that would. It would be certainly something to own that. But oh my
dude,
God,
Doc Ock looks fucking unreal.
All you guys listening, do yourself a favor, Google this. You will not be disappointed.
Dude, Doc Ock looks so fucking bad. It's incredible.
Yeah,
like that's incredible. Because I'm looking at some other things where Spider-Man looks like he isn't. The consistency is different. Like whatever Spider-Man is been rendered with is different from what Dr. Ock, because I'm seeing another panel, and they don't even look like. This is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I'm glad I could shine some light on this again, because it bursted into my memory because of the conversation we were having, and I fucking.
Holy crap!
That's awesome. Yeah, thank God.
That's awesome.
It's so gross, but yeah, I don't remember what we were talking about before, because I had to make sure we got that out. But are we talking about how terrible Watch Dogs is? Yeah, don't buy Watch Dogs unless you can get it for super cheap. Yeah, because it is kind of fun to fuck. It's fun to fuck around in the same way that like Grand Theft Auto was fun to make your own headcanon in, where it's like, yeah, I'm running from the cops and I'm stuck in this hospital and I'm like fucking gunning down millions of police officers as they funnle through the door.
Fucking horde mode. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Like in that way it's fun, but it's not really that interesting. So let's jump into some fucking questions from our patrons over at patreon.com/the Snark Tank. Join us over there if you want to ask us some questions for the show. Your support is much appreciated. And let's check with Zach Cool Number. He wrote in, he says, "Hello, first time patron, long time listener. What is your guys' opinion on adding an easy mode to a game, even if it would detract from the game's identity and the developer's vision? This has been a recurring topic, especially around FromSoft releases, and it has been complicated. It has been a complicated discussion for both sides of the argument. Thanks for your question, Zach Cool Number. Much appreciated."
Yeah, that has been a topic that I keep seeing recurring. It keeps coming up, especially now that Elden Ring came out, right? Because there you saw a couple of people refunding and some people bitching about how it being too hard and stuff. And I'm like, well, it's funny how you don't know that about these games by now. You know,
yeah, I mean,
yeah, but it is. I guess a lot of people got caught up in the hype that normally don't play the Dark Souls games. Like, Elden Ring looks cool. I see George R. R. Martin. I want to see what's going on with this shit. You know, I feel like I have like somewhat of a nuanced take about this, because I was actually going to make a video about this same topic, because I was hearing the arguments, and I felt like I completely understand the people. I understand the people that want an easy mode. I understand them. I understand like the argument of adding an easier mode to this doesn't affect any of you that already are going to play the game the way that it's designed, the way that you want it. Just like, say, when you see like usually the normal hard mode is the way that the developers are designed a game to be played. When they have different options, usually a step up from normal is like, this is the way you should truly experience it, where it's not just bitch made, it's a little bit tough, and and then there's the harder mode, right? Like, I understand that, like, I get it, and I agree with those people that literally I would just not. There's only one time I played easy mode on a game. It was when I was trying to blaze through the first time I played Dragon Age Origins, where I was like, this game's gonna take fucking forever. I put it on casual to just blaze through it, because I just wanted to see the story and everything. I was like, I really like this game. I replayed it over because I really enjoyed it so much.
That's exactly what I did with The Witcher 3. Like, I was like, I did not like combat in that game at all, and I was like, you know what? The story's awesome. I am just here for this. I do not care about sliding around on this fucking buttery horse.
Yeah. So like, I understand that, and the people, like, say, that's the thing, because I've heard some arguments saying, like, a lot of people are using the word integrity. Like, oh, the way the developer, the integrity of the game and shit like that. And I felt like those arguments are kind of silly, because when people mod the games to make them harder, it fucks with the integrity of the game, and none of those people mind it. They love that shit. Yeah. They love when you take the game and mess with it in a way that makes it wait. Like, say, Dark Souls 3, there was an all Gale run, the last boss of the Ring City DLC. And every single enemy in the game is Gale. And it's such a ridiculous thing, but I've been watching this guy named Challenger Andy play since, I think, the summer of last year. Probably over like 4,000 deaths now right now. Progressing through the game. But it's like, it's really fun to watch. I love it. But I would say how the game was designed to be played, you're completely fucking with it. And so I would feel that would be the same thing when they say, okay, you add an easy mode and it's fucking with the integrity of the game, the way that it was designed, the way the vision of the game. I don't think that's a really good argument, but I hear that's like the best argued thing about why people don't want there to be an easy mode, because I don't really understand the reason why other people would be mad. Like they call them the gatekeepers, right? They call them the gatekeepers. I don't really understand like what is the. Do you have another side of that stance, like of why, like that's like a good point to why there shouldn't be one? And I'm not even saying there should be one. I'm just saying that like I understand the reasoning why people want one, and then the people that are against it, I don't really. Nothing seems that strong to me right now as far as an argument. But like,
I think it depends on the game that's being talked about. I think. There are games like The Witcher or Dragon Age or even, I don't know, things like Skyrim or things that are very, very, very story-driven and narrative-driven, right? Where I feel like I understand the necessity of casual or easy modes, because if you just want to be there for the story, then that's totally valid. The thing with a Soulsborne game, though, that I think is a little bit different is the story is kind of barely there.
It's almost non-existent.
Yeah, like it's there if you look for it, but it's not a highlighted aspect of. It's not front and center to the experience most of the time. And to me, without the difficulty, if you're playing Sekiro or Dark Souls on easy, you're kind of not playing it. I feel like, and I do think that there's an aspect of it where it's like, I wouldn't be upset if they had an easy mode, but I do think it would be a little bit bizarre, because it's just, I don't know what you would be getting out of Dark Souls if not the satisfaction of accomplishing those fights. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand what the point of Dark Souls would be, because it wouldn't be fun to just beat everything up. Like, there's so many games that let you do that and that are way better. Like things that, I'm thinking of games like therapeutic games like Prototype, where that whole game is just about picking people up and throwing them against walls and shit and just taking your aggression out on just random people. But the other thing that I think is a bit more of a compelling thing, it's like, it's not necessarily that there shouldn't be an easy mode. It's that From Software doesn't have one, and that's okay, because ultimately a developer should be able to make whatever game they want. And if they want things, I actually prefer games that have no difficulty settings, like games that are like, okay, you know what? Here's a game. It's designed this way. These are a lot of old school games are like this. A lot of like Mega Man.
If they make them harder on average, I'm okay with that. Like the Assassin's Creed series was fucking awful.
No, but that's what I mean. But those are games. Can you not pick difficulty in Assassin's Creed?
Not in the old ones, but you know when they the one where they switched what is it, the Egypt one and on, when they revamped their shit. But yeah, the old ones was just a setting, and I was like, this is way too easy. But that's the thing. It's like you have to design your games well. But I do think games with singular difficulties are almost, not always, obviously, because you have Assassin's Creed, and I'm sure there's a handful of others that also fit into that mold. But I think they're generally better designed than games that have to tailor themselves to multiple difficulties, because the developer only has to focus on one specific experience. It's the same reason why Zelda doesn't have difficulty settings, and why these Souls games don't have difficulty settings. It's because it allows the developers to really focus in on tuning the damage just right, and tuning the level design just right, and tuning enemy placement just right, so that everybody is having a uniform experience, and the only defining factor on whether or not somebody gets through that is if they can learn it on their terms. It reminds me of like Mega Man, or like those old school games that are like really, really hard, but there's no setting. Like you either get good or you don't. And there are ways to kind of circumvent that, actually, because these games it's almost like the difficulty is part of, or the difficulty setting is part of the gameplay. Like in Mega Man, it's going to be a lot harder to go after like a specific boss before you have a specific item. So you could just go get that specific item, which will be a lot easier to maintain, or a lot easier to obtain, and then go to that boss, which is now a lot easier. And I feel like Souls is a lot like that. Sekiro is actually
more unlike this than any of them. But the fact that, oh, this boss is really hard, I want this fight to be easier. So what do? I could either A, get really good, or I can go and farm the shit out of everybody around me and just level up my guy so much that I can just take this guy in like 5 hits or something.
Right. Which I have done that one time over in Dark Souls, or I think actually the first time, or I don't remember which run it was, but I spent a good half of the day just fucking farming. There was the dragon on the bridge that would, like, you know, it would breathe the fire and it would kill like the minions on the bridge, and I would just farm that for hours. So it can only take you so far in Dark Souls, but it still gives you a good advantage in the very beginning of the game. Yeah, I remember doing some shit like that. Also, it was funny.
I think that's totally valid, but the thing is, it's like, that is, I think that's a really cool aspect of From Software games, is the fact that you can make your own difficulty. Like, you can choose to play easy mode, you just have to work for it. In the same way that you can persevere on the normal, very, very hard difficulty if you work for it in the combat. If you work like, oh, I'm gonna I got to get better at dodge rolling, I got to get better at learning my invincibility frames, I got to get better at parrying. You know, both avenues, the normal hard difficulty and the easy mode, require work of the player, and I think that that's really cool. So, in my opinion, there is an easy mode in Dark Souls. There is an easy mode in Elden Ring. You just have to work for it, and that's part of those games. That's what I really like about this game that I didn't really appreciate about other games, because I felt that they were too linear, and I just got kind of bored farming the same rooms over and over again. But in Elden Ring, it's so open that farming is fun, because you don't have to stay in one place. You can go somewhere else and farm some other shit, or like, you never have to have the same farming experience over and over again. And putting in that work is the satisfaction of the game. And if you could just breeze through it for like minimal story, I just don't know what you'd be getting out of that game. And I think you might actually see negative, you might even see like negative reviews of the game, because they're just like, what does this game offer? It's just a bunch of people to kill. You know, I could see why they might be a little bit more focused on one.
I think, with that, like, I will say, because the way that I enjoy games really does depend on timing, and say right now I don't have that much time, so it's one of those things that there's a solution within the video that I never released the video, but the solution that I came up with, I felt like the best thing that people should do for most games are available on PC. Obviously, there's some that there's nothing you can do. They're console exclusives. But for most games, they're available on PC. And I really think now, more than ever, it's really affordable to own a decent fucking rig that can play, like, most games, right? That can play, like, anything.
If you can get a graphics card from all the people using them to fucking make NFTs in fucking Switzerland or wherever the fuck they're making them.
Right. But usually they're not getting, like, you can still get, like, something that's, what is it, that's associated with brands that people usually don't go for, because like everybody's getting all the fucking Nvidia shit. Yeah, so it's like you can get some other stuff that'll work as well, but it's just not as, you know, it's not as desirable, you know. Like, it is, like, I've had some like AMD CPUs, I've had some things that were like, and I didn't have any fucking problems, I'm just saying. But anyway, my whole point is that mods and trainers are a thing that can be used, which people, you know, especially in this community, in the Dark Souls community, like, say there's a website called Nexus, right? That's where like it's like the home of the mods. And I don't if there are Dark Souls mods on there, there's basically nothing that will help you cheat, because within the community it's like frowned upon. However, they're still there. They're just not in like that hub. My whole argument was, let the developers make the games they want to make. And if you, say for example, you're strapped for time and you're like, I usually love these games. Now, what is your reasoning for playing a Souls game? Say like, it is the combat and all that stuff and challenging and beating these bosses. However, I know there's some people, especially when they just look at the art and they're like, I just want to see the bosses. I want to see what's in this world, and I can't go anywhere because I'm getting my ass kicked. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, if you just want to play some, you know, soft ass pillowy thing, but you want to see what's within the world and experience all the crazy shit that's happening, I can understand that point of view. Like, I'm not that person. Like, I did get satisfaction from beating, like, Ornstein and Smo and Dark Souls 1. Like, you know, that's, like, hard-ass fucking combo. Beating fucking Dark Eater Medea in Dark Souls 3. Like, I got fucking satisfaction out of that, absolutely. Especially when you try it so many fucking times and you finally do it. You're like, Jesus Christ, I finally did it. And then, you know, I'll go back to it in a year or something because of how frustrating it was, because I remember how frustrating it was. But like I said, I'm trying to. This is just me doing the devil's advocate thing, where there's like within one of the DLCs of Dark Souls 3, there's like there were some really cool bosses, and it's just kind of like being able to see that. Now, I guess the counter argument would be, well, look it up on YouTube, I guess, and just see people, their footage and stuff is available. But I was just saying, for options, people invest some money into a PC. And you can fuck with your games enough to where you can play it exactly the way that you want to play it. And then the developers aren't forced to add things for you. You know, you can kind of just take your own initiative to, like, it's like sports games. I wouldn't play fucking sports games like you guys heard me talk about NBA 2K. I wouldn't play that shit if I couldn't fuck with the games. Because normal basketball games are so fucking boring and stupid. But when I get to like do really dumb shit and, you know, score hundreds of points per game, and I'm just like, it's funny as fuck to me. So I'm just playing the game for that stupid ass reason. So I always say, no easy mode, go mod your shit.
Yeah, there's always ways to fuck with shit, especially on PC.
Like, so that's why I like people invest in PC. It's not like fucking back in the day, where that shit was like, I can't get one anymore. It's too. I'm like, if you can buy a PS5, you can actually buy a fucking rig now. Like, they're not that fucking. You're not gonna get the best shit, but you're gonna get something that will allow you to play the stuff. And look, and I think people are less picky about. I honestly think people are less picky about graphics on average, because, I mean, From Software games are not the most beautiful fucking games. It look like Elden Ring looks good, but it's got good art design, but it's not like a graphically impressive. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Sekiro is like 15 gigs on PC. Like, the game's fucking, you know what I mean? Like, how full and fucking overhaul could the game be? And like Elden Ring I think it was like 80, which is good, but for an open world game, you would think it would probably be like over 100, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just people aren't fucking really freaking out like about that shit, you know? It's just I think gameplay wins in the end of the day.
Yeah, but I do think performance is something that people care a lot more about now than
you're right.
They used to. Like, so I think it's swapped from graphics to performance, because people.
You're right.
People,
you're absolutely
people
right.
be happy playing fucking a video game where Kirby eats a car, and is like, you know, 240p or whatever. But like, if that thing goes below fucking 30, you know, everybody's gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?"
You're absolutely right. Before they patched Elden Ring, it was actually running kind of shitty. It was yeah, I remember that. That was a problem.
I mean, it's still kind of running shitty for me. Like it runs perfectly fine, but then every 40 minutes or so, I'll get like, and it always happens. It's really consistent. It's like, it's almost like, it's not consistent time wise. It's not like every 30 minutes exactly or every 40 minutes exactly. It's just like every long chunk of time or so, I will get reliably a period where it's like 3 freeze frames, where the game will just pause, and then it'll speed up back to where I was. It'll pause again, and then it'll pause again, and then it'll go back to normal for like however long, like 50 minutes, an hour, and then it'll happen again. And it's like very strange. Like I can reliably predict how many more freeze frames happens the second it starts again, and like, oh, okay, we got 2 more. It'll be fine. And sometimes it'll happen while I'm exploring, which is no big deal. But sometimes it'll happen when I'm like doing some bullshit double jump with torrent over a place that I know is gonna kill me, and it fucking, or like in the middle of like a boss fight or something, and it's like, oh my god, this is the worst possible time. It's unfortunate that it's as unstable as it is, but I don't know, man.
Yeah,
that's just impressive.
Yeah,
it's a fucking crazy good game, and I would highly recommend it, even with the performance issues. It's so funny though, on PlayStation, like, people are saying like, get the PS4 version and then run it on PS5. It's the only way
PS5.
to get. Yeah, it's the only way to get locked 60, and it's like, oh my god. Shujemon wrote in. He says, "Hi, voices in my head. Thanks for making my long work days actually fun. My question is simple. You guys go to a record store, but there's only 3 discs on sale laid out in front of you. A fully produced Ben Shapiro hip-hop album entitled, hypothetically, Let's Drop Bars. Paul Joseph Watson djembe studies entitled, I Broke Way Too Many of These Drums, or Keith David's buttery smooth voice in his very own soul album, Voices of Heaven. The teller tells you can only take one. I believe you all understand the dilemma here. I'm easily taking the Keith David thing. It's not even a fucking contest.
I mean,
a soul album?
That's the obvious thing, right? I can throw out the Paul Joseph Watson one.
Yeah.
I really want to hear fucking Ben Shapiro rap. Like there's like his stupid ass voice, man. It's too unbelievable. I would have to be. Look, Ben Shapiro is another example of just that fucking nerdy voice that just happens. Like he just like what is that shit?
Yeah, it's so strange. He just talk like a fake person. It's very strange. But that would be an interesting album. It would be kind of cool. It would definitely be a lot funnier. Like to hear a Ben Shapiro hip hop album. Like I don't even know what that would be. Me and my N-words pile up in the car, and we see some hot bitches roaming afar, or like he's almost like he's like fucking doing a poem or some shit because he doesn't know what rap is. He's like a limerick. I'm so shocked that I'm gonna search on YouTube after this because I imagine that somebody's had to have done this already. Made for sure, right?
Some songs of because the people are on this shit like pretty quick, especially around that wet ass pussy thing. Remember that?
Oh my god!
He was.
Oh
what?
Fuck! I googled Ben Shapiro raping. I meant rapping. And YouTube is like, did you mean rapping? I did.
Did I tell you about that? In 7th grade, some kid, we had to write a report, and he wrote a report on being, he wanted to be a famous rapper, but he spelled it with 1 P. Did I tell you about that? Oh my
god, a famous rapper.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was fucking best, dude.
Oh god. Yeah, he's it would be interesting to see a rappist, Ben Shapiro.
If Ben Shapiro could rap, so who's Sir Spence? Looks like there's some guy that's. Oh, it's just the. It's
a remix of fucking what is it, Wet Ass Pussy or whatever. Big deal. That's not that interesting. I think you've convinced me. I think I'll change my. I think I'll go with the. Because Keith David's voice is a gift, regardless. Like I don't need it to.
Right.
I don't need him to do a soul album to be a gift, but like that, a full on hypothetically, Let's Drop Bars would be a banger.
It would.
And I want to hear it. Aubrey Chestnut wrote in. She said, Hey, retards. What was your favorite implement on the playground to see children get absolutely bodied on? Could range from anything from seesaws or monkey bars. Go ham with this one. Listen, I actually have a good answer for this. Oh, I don't know if it's a good answer. I think it's pretty an obvious answer. That thing, it's that circular platform, right? With all the bars that kind of like act as like handles where you can like spin around. It's the thing that Jesse is like lying on in Breaking Bad when he's like when he's going insane. And he's like throwing all the money away. No. Is it a merry-go-round? Is that accurate? Because a merry-go-round is the horse one.
Well, that's technically a carousel.
Oh. What? Oh my god. That makes so much fucking sense.
What?
I've never thought about that. Wait a minute. Wait, what's a merry-go-round?
Yeah, because what the hell else would you call it?
Oh my god, it is. Yeah, what the fuck? I always thought merry-go-round was the fucking horse thing.
Oh, I mean, I guess it makes sense that it's like the same thing, but yeah, that thing's called a carousel.
Yeah, it is. And I knew the word carousel, and I knew it meant that. So I don't know what the fuck I don't know.
That's awesome.
Wow, this is like a really like intense moment for me. But yeah, the fucking merry-go-round, that thing. Seeing children specifically overdo it on that thing. And just go tumbling into poles and like falling into the scrapey like gravel that they have all over fucking playgrounds. It is. I remember I was in Catholic school for a little bit when I was younger, and we had a playground in the back of the school, like in the back after the parking lot. It was like a very weird layout, that school, but there was a merry-go-round there, and I remember in I think 4th grade. There was some kid who was like spinning, and his friends wouldn't stop spinning him, and he was like, go, keep going. And he was like spinning, and it looked like he became like a zoetrope almost, where it was like you could see like frames of him doing animations if you blinked hard enough.
Yeah.
And when he got off, he vomited all over his shirt, his pants, his shoes. Everything. It's not even like, oh, I got a little bit of throw up on my shirt. Like, oh, that sucks. I'm going to have to, everything. And his parents had to pick him up drenched in. And I remember watching him from the classroom, watching him go into the car covered in vomit and just thinking like, oh my God, I would be so furious if I had to pick up my kid and they were just covered head to toe in vomit because they fucking overdid it on a merry-go-round.
Nah, I'd humiliate them, but get naked. You take your clothes off because you're not putting that shit in my seats.
You're not. Yeah, you're fucking.
Everyone's gonna see you butt ass naked because you're not changing in the car. You're getting undressed before you get inside the car.
I feel kind of bad for him because his parents clearly didn't get him a change of clothes, even though they probably could have. So it's probably like a really bad situation at home. But anyway, that is my favorite. That is a.
That's a good answer. Merry-go-rounds are fucking... Yeah, there's definitely been incidences with that. And then swings. Swings, I would say, second. Kids have done some really dumb shit with swings, trying to jump off and hurting themselves, breaking shit. And then we learned how to jump off backwards. Like when you're swinging backwards and then you jump off, and that was really dangerous.
That sounds dangerous. That sounds like your face just goes flying into the ground.
It could. I mean, usually you would just land on your feet. Like it was a cool trick, but... If you didn't, if you're a dumb kid with terrible coordination, Yeah,
you're not going to do that fucking trick. You got to be a gymnast. You got to be like a ballerina. I was going to say a ballet person. I forgot the word for ballerina. Fucking, right. I think, the swings are a classic one. Because I remember seeing some kid do, like, you know how some, like, they'll do the thing where they try to push it and get it all the way around? That was a thing I remember seeing a lot of, and I've seen a lot of attempts at that were actually like super successful. Like I've seen it done successfully more than a handful of times, and I remember seeing it one time and thinking like, oh, they're gonna do it because it's the same kid pushing, same kid that was always, he just knew how to do it, and then he did it, and then it did that thing where it goes like whoop. And then down onto the pole, and it was like a Batman Bane scenario for that kid. But I think he was all right because he was like I don't know, he was like 10. When you're that young, you're just kind of invulnerable to like everything. Like you can the amount of bodily harm you can sustain as a child is insane.
Right.
I think it's why parents beat him.
Yeah, what to harden them?
Nah, because they just know that they just know that they'll be fine. Take it? Yeah, you cannot beat a 22-year-old as a parent in the same way that you could beat a child because that 22-year-old's dead.
It's very true.
Like I've seen kids slapped across rooms before, man. Like I've seen that. Yeah. That's no joke.
Yeah, kids definitely got fucked up quite a bit. Yeah. I fucked myself up quite. I mean, I tore a ligament and I didn't even know it was torn until recently. Because I tore it a long time ago. Yeah. In my wrist.
Oh, fuck.
It explains a lot though. I thought I broke some small little bones in my wrist that like my friend, he did this one time. He fell off a skateboard and he broke some like some of the small bones within his wrist, and they're like, you can't really. They don't heal; they just die off. So I thought maybe that's what happened because there's like a lot of pain in my wrist, and I don't fucking you gotta get surgery, and I'm like, I don't give a shit about that.
They don't heal. What do you mean? What do you mean?
There's like these little bones in your wrist, like say they won't like just like it's not like say like your bones that if you snap it or something you reset it and it'll start to like callus over and regrow and all that shit. These things are kind of like they're in between ligament stuff, and so it doesn't have any. It just breaks and dies. It's like these little. Now I didn't break any bones, but I tore a ligament that I didn't know until last year. So it explains a lot though because I can't play guitar as well as like because it's really weak, and it's like right in here specifically where it's like hard to grip things. If I try to play, it makes me a terrible musician. Like I can't progress as much. But I thought like I just took it. I was a kid. I injured my wrist twice, and then when I was 16 was when I tore it. Because I know it was swollen. I know my wrist was swollen, and then it went down. I didn't do anything about it, and now I know. Now I fucking know that I'm just all fucked up. But if I was an adult when this happened, it would have been a completely different story. I would have went to the emergency room. I would have been like probably, woe is me, somebody take care of me type of shit. And now I just fucking suck it up. I'm like, yeah, this sucks. I gotta go home, guys.
That's literally what happened with me and my over the summer last year. I fucking I don't know if I broke my ankle or if I sprained it super hard. Basically, I was going downstairs and I was like putting my mask on while I was going downstairs to go outside, and I was gonna go with my friends to go to like some like bar in the middle of the day. Like, because for some reason we were doing that. And I skipped the last step by accident and didn't realize it. And I landed I landed with my foot like sideways. Like with all my weight skipping a step onto my foot. And I remember I heard a crack, and then I felt like my the best way that I can describe it is it felt like a car hit my foot from underneath me. Was like the best way that I could describe it. It was like a really intense amount of pain. I remember thinking like, okay. And then I stopped. I stood there for a second. I was like, I heard a crack, and I stood there. And without saying anything to my friends were like ahead of me, and they like walked out of the building by now. I just turned around and went back upstairs and went to sleep. And then like later on I got like some like bandages and shit, but like I think I definitely fucked something up, and I definitely didn't heal correctly, because like now sometimes, even though this doesn't feel like it should be related, like when I'm walking every now and again I'll feel like this weird like hyper specific like sharp tear in the sole of my foot that's like out of nowhere. It's like, oh, that's new, that's interesting. Maybe I'll check. Maybe I'll get that checked out at some point, but not anytime soon, because I don't want to know.
I mean, yeah, I guess it's too late to. I mean, you can still do something about it, but it's too late to correct the original problem. You know? So I kind of get that.
I mean, I figured I healed all right. I can walk and like I can run. Like,
right.
I clearly didn't break my back. I clearly didn't shatter my ankle or nothing.
Right. You didn't. It wasn't like just a complete like break or something to where it's inusable. You can't use it anymore. You might have fractured something. You might have had a slight tear of something.
Yeah. It was bad though. It was so fucking those 3 weeks of like hobbling around like a fucking Falmer was just awful.
Like a Falmer.
But yeah.
You didn't even get crutches or anything?
No, I couldn't. I never went to the doctor. I never went to the ER or nothing. Like everybody was telling me you should go, and I was like, yeah, I will. And then I never did, because it was like just the thought of leaving at all. Like I didn't leave my house. I didn't leave my apartment, and just the thought of like, oh, I gotta hop down the stairs, or like hop into like the elevator, which is like super far away. I gotta hobble around in public. I'm gonna get mugged or something. I'm not gonna fucking do that, man. I don't need that.
Yeah, good shit. Good shit.
We'll do one more, and then we'll call it a little day. Hugger Derek, the movie theater manager, wrote in. He says, "Hey there, kings of all kings. What movies are you excited for in the coming year? I'm personally excited for Doctor Strange 2 and the Nicolas Cage's, what the fuck is this? The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, a movie where Nicolas Cage plays Nicolas Cage. Is that real? The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That's the most pretentious name for a movie in the world.
That's so weird. I was just talking about this earlier about actors playing themselves and shit, and like how pretentious that must be. And but then I was thinking about that comedy movie, This Is the End, where there was like a spin on it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It was like real celebrities, but like the world was ending. I never actually saw the whole movie. I just know Emma Watson was in it, and I think Michael Cera slapped her ass or something. It was like some weird
something happened. Yeah, but yeah, it was all those people that came up together.
Yeah,
and it was pretty. So I wonder if it'll be anything similar like this, where he'll be playing himself, but in like a really what was it called again?
What, this movie?
The movie? Yeah.
This one is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I'm reading the synopsis right now. It says, unfulfilled and facing financial ruin, actor Nicolas Cage accepts a $1 million offer to attend a wealthy fan's birthday party. Things take a wildly unexpected turn when a CIA operative recruits Cage for an unusual mission. Taking on the role of a lifetime, he soon finds himself channeling his most iconic and beloved characters to save himself and his loved ones. That sounds ridiculous, and that sounds awesome.
There's like other
Pedro Pascal, all these other
famous actors in here, but they're not playing. I think is Pedro playing himself because he doesn't have like a name. Yeah, it just hasn't been cast yet. Maybe.
Yeah, no, I don't think he has a. No, because that's coming out this year. It's coming out in April.
He's like playing himself. He's playing his fucking self.
Yeah, and then Neil Patrick Harris, Tiffany Haddish. That's so fucking funny. I had no idea about this movie, so thank you for bringing it to my attention.
Right,
because it's on my radar now.
I'm gonna check this trailer out. Yeah, I'm a big fan of. I was actually just thinking about because I saw a what was it? I think it was like a post or something. Elvis the Alien. He's kind of obsessed with with Nicolas Cage a little bit. And I saw something today. I forgot what it was because I was just barely skimming social media. But it reminded me I was supposed to have a Cage night with my homies back in the day. We were gonna get like all the best worst Nicolas Cage movies. We're gonna invite a bunch of people over. Let's watch fucking Nicolas Cage do his thing because he has his range is fucking insane. It's from the worst actor ever to this is really good. It's very unusual.
Yeah,
for an actor to can do that, to be like, I don't know, I can't even, because it's like, usually it's just consistently people are consistently bad or consistently good, and not him. It's very strange.
Yeah, there's a man, I don't know, there are podcasts dedicated to Nicolas Cage.
I mean, it makes sense, dude. He's an anomaly.
There's Into the Cage there's Into the Cage, Uncaged, The Cage Club, Cage Match. Dude, there's so many. That's great. I've not I don't know. Like, I haven't seen any of these shows. Maybe they're good, but like it's just so funny that like I don't know any of. I don't think there's like the Bryan Cranston cast.
Right.
Despite how good of an actor Bryan Cranston is and how great he is. Like, there's no, you're not going to see, I don't know, you're not going to see a fucking Tyler Perry
cast.
Yeah, Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry.
Yeah, the greatest actors of our generation: Daniel Day-Lewis, Bryan Cranston, and Tyler Perry. That movie would be fucking really something.
I don't even. Oh man, I can't. The only thing that I've ever seen him in where I didn't want to punch him in the face was he had a cameo in the reboot of Star Trek, and he was just like one of like the higher ups in Starfleet or whatever. That was like just talking shit to Kirk or whatever for cheating on the Kobayashi Maru test. And I was like, oh, he's like not being a complete piece of shit, like, or he's not doing that. It actually would have been. He's like, let me dress up as Medea in this scene. Fucking good though.
That shit sucks so hard. There's so much of it too. It's insane. Like there's so many Medea movies. It's like Pokemon. It's like you're just trying to, like, how many of them can you catch? How many of them have you collected? And it's not like they. You know what's funny too is that she's just a character in like his cinematic universe. I remember seeing a completely unrelated Tyler Perry movie for some reason. I don't even know why. I think it was just on, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I was like curious about it, and then Medea shows up, and I'm like, "What the fuck? This isn't a Medea movie. What's going on?" It's just he's just invented this MCU. But it's just black people and Medea. It's so weird.
Bro. Dude.
What?
Last week, a Medea movie came out.
Don't you dare say that. Don't you dare say that. That's not fucking real. Wait.
I swear to God.
Oh my fucking God. Wait.
Medea Homecoming came out last week.
Oh my God. How many of these are there? That's insane. That is wild. Hold on. Medea.
It just keeps going.
Medea franchise. Wikipedia. Films.
Probably blazed through the Marvelous Cinematic Universe, dude.
This feels like it's too small of a list. Okay, there's Diary of a Mad Black Woman. There's Medea's Family Reunion. Meet the Browns. Medea Goes to Jail. I Can Do Bad All by Myself. Medea's Big Happy Family. Medea's Witness Protection. A Medea Christmas. Boo, a Medea Halloween. Boo 2, a Medea Halloween. It's not even Boo, a Medea Halloween 2. Fucking a Medea Family Funeral and a Medea Homecoming. These movies are respectively 2005, 2006, 2008, 2009, 2009 again, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2016, 2017, 2019, 2022. Wild.
Dude, I had no idea there was this many. Like, I think they crushed the MCU and still going strong before the MCU because Diary of a Mad Black Woman was mid-2000s. Fucking Iron Man was 2008.
Yeah, I mean, the play.
Get the fuck out of here.
Because he was doing plays before that, right? Because like there's
right,
plays, like all these movies. These are just the plays, but movies.
Yeah.
Like actually, for real, like I Can Do Bad, My Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Medea's Family Reunion, Medea Goes to Jail. It's all of his movies are just remakes of his plays, except for the fucking Christmas specials and Halloween ones, I guess. But
I can't believe how many
there's an animated film.
I get
Medea's Tough Love.
That's animated.
I have to see this.
Oh my God, Medea Goes to Jail.
I'm gonna be so upset if it actually looks like it's not. Oh my God.
I gotta look it up too now.
Oh my God. It looks like Nut Shack a little bit.
Fucking Nut Shack. I forgot about Nut Shack. It's the Nut Shack.
This is so weird. It looks like
God.
Why does it look like Recess? Oh my God,
it does
this is
look
so
like
weird.
It looks, dude. Is it animated by the same people?
Bro,
it does
might
look like
be.
Recess.
It looks exactly like fucking. It's just black Recess. This is insane. What the hell am I seeing? Well, it looks okay. It looks a little bit more like standard Flash animated. It looks like if Recess was animated today, this is how it would look. You know, like kind of like bland colors and just sort of like everything's like stiff. But how sad is it that this doesn't even look nearly as bad as some of the stuff that I've seen on animated television recently? Have you seen that Fairview show that Stephen Colbert executive produces?
Nuh-uh.
Oh my God. Audience, look up Fairview Comedy Central. You will not believe how disgusting that show looks. It's like these bobbleheads, and they have no hands and feet, and they got like Powerpuff Girl like I don't even. But they got these like photorealistic Bitmoji faces.
What is this?
It's Fairview.
I like
Stephen Colbert.
I like how the third, if you type that in, if you type in Fairview Comedy Central, the third thing that pops up is fucking Saber Spark. Comedy Central has officially hit rock bottom. Just some fucking video, just shitting on it. And then it's just all clips. I don't even want to watch it. I don't even want to watch it. Like, just looking at the thumbnails, I'm like, I'm good on this.
Yeah, no, it's even uglier in person. But
wow,
yeah, it's a rough situation out there.
I don't understand how we don't have a job with Comedy Central, man. What I mean is, it seems so easy to get bullshit greenlit.
Yeah,
like, how the fuck? How can our fucking, like, let us do a skit show, an animated skit show with fucking pizza time and all the other dumb shit that we talk about, and
I bet
we could do better.
I bet we could do a badass animated, like, kind of podcast series like the Ricky Gervais show, because last you saw that last Snark Tank animated, right? That
yeah.
Oh my god, I'm
Ergomancer. Ergomancy. Egomancy.
Yeah.
Ergomancy. You're right. Ergomancy.
That video is incredible, and that video is like, it reminds me a lot of like the Ricky Gervais podcast show, you know, where they just animated segments of the podcast and just made it funny. Like, that video that Ergomancy did is way funnier than whatever the fuck this is. Like, and I'm not saying that based off of how it looks. I've actually seen an episode of this show. It's really bad. It's not even to say that we are particularly amazing. It's just to say that if they have a show, we should have a show.
That's what I'm saying. You know, I'm totally with you on that. Yeah.
If that's the quality bar, then we pass, I think. I don't even think that's overconfident to say. I think it's just basic reality. Like, this is a terrible show, and I can't believe Stephen Colbert even remotely attached his name to this on purpose. That is staggering.
Strange. I mean, it just seems he became a late night Jimmy kind of person. His brain melted. I don't know.
Yeah.
I used to have just an immense amount of respect for the dude.
Yeah.
He didn't seem like he would do something like this, but like it's probably a good cash grab. It's probably
Jon Stewart's still really cool though. Like, every time I see him pop up in the news, he's always got like this really, like, oh yeah, it's like a common sense opinion that, like, oh yeah, I remember what that was like when people had that regularly.
Do you think he would have remained cool if, say, he would have taken like a late night job? Do you think that?
No, I think very few people can come out of late night and still be funny and genuine. I think Conan O'Brien is one of those people who, like, he came out of late night and, like, he remained funny the whole time. Like, I mean, late night is its own thing. It's like, if you don't like late night comedy, you're not gonna like fucking Conan or anything. But
who else is there? Who else is there that's like, he's the only one that I can think of. I'm like, oh yeah, Conan's cool. I respect Conan.
Yeah, it's just Conan. Conan also started a podcast like way before everybody else, and like he just like he's always he embraced YouTube before everybody else. Like he understood, like, and even just like he has a whole series where he just on his show when it was airing, where he would just go to people in his office, like his employees or whatever, and just harass them and like make them the star. It wasn't always about like, I'm James Corden. I'm James Corden. I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna lip sync in my car with Miley Cyrus and fucking Vladimir Putin's ex-wife. And it's like just this weird social climby bullshit where it's like, oh, here's like a bunch of famous people and I'm doing cool shit with them. He would always just take his employees or his like assistants to these random places and just make them uncomfortable. And it was great content. Anything that Conan O'Brien does with Jordan Schlansky, who is like one of his producers, and Sona something, I can't remember her name, but like his assistant, it's all great late night comedy, because it's just not this masturbatory celebrity jerk off fest. And I don't know, he's apparently got a show on HBO Max that's apparently in the works, because his Conan show, they stopped airing it because it's on TBS and nobody watches cable anymore. But but I'm interested in that, because I think he's one of the few people who's actually like genuinely funny outside of a show.
100%.
He has a great podcast too. Like, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend is actually really great. Like the people he has on and like the conversations he has.
Yeah, one of the few times everyone respects him too. Like it's just I've literally never heard anybody say anything bad about Conan.
Yeah,
and you, if you say the same thing about other, like, say, late night or anyone else, you can't say that about any of them. Any of them.
No one's gonna be like, man, people are way too hard on Jimmy Fallon. Like that sentence has never been said by anyone.
I can't get. How does he look permanently nervous? Like, I hate it. Like, I hate his face, man. Like, he always just looks like he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Even though, like, he clearly has a script and a fucking there's teleprompters or whatever, but he just always looks like, I don't know what's happening. He looks like the show's out of his control. I just hate looking at him.
So let me get this right. So you're telling me you and Bella Hadid jumped off of the World Trade Center together? Is that right? And he just laughs the whole fucking time. He's so annoying. God damn, I hate him.
Yeah, he's.
I mean, I hate his presence. I don't know the guy. Like
right. Same.
I internet hate him. You know, as much as you can hate a person who has done nothing to you personally.
Yeah.
Right. But 100%. Anyway, I guess that's gonna be it for us today. It was a pretty lively episode. Hopefully Sweeney will make it back, without holes in his body. You know,
I don't know. I doubt it.
X to doubt. I don't know why that image. For some reason, okay, bizarre association there. I had the image of that L.A. Noire character with the X to doubt popped into my head, and then immediately, for no reason, it segued into a thought about that Brass Against the Machine lead singer pissing on that person on stage. I really don't know. I don't know why.
It is funny though that I don't know. That's weird as shit. That is weird.
Makes no sense.
I am following her on Instagram, and I cannot see a picture of her and not immediately think about her pissing on that guy.
That's her. That she's Piss Against the Machine now.
Yeah,
That's just her.
Piss Against the Machine. I like that as like a name, like a title or something. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Anyway, fucking goddamn it. Oh my god. If you liked what you heard today, consider supporting us over at patreon.com/thesnarktank. $1 a month gets you early access to every episode and access to bonus solo episodes. My solo episode is recorded. Sweeney's episode is recorded. They are on the docket. Sweeney's will be out first because I want to do some tweaks to mine. And because I've gotten more questions and I just feel like I could just add more to it. So Sweeney's will be out this month. And then I say probably at the beginning of next month, mine will be out. And so that's the update on those for those curious. $5 gets you a question read on the show. $10 gets you access to our Discord server. That's one payment and you're in for good. And $25 gets your name dyslexically read at the end of the show, which I will do now. Yeah, you got to count me down.
Yeah.
Because Sweeney's
3, a 2, a 1.
I'm a sign language student, and Sween is bad at sign language. Putting this dick in your ass. That's really clever.
That's
the nerd
cool.
therapist, Daniel Ocean, Tevin DeBlack, the guy who met Keith David dressed as a plague doctor at CreepyCon. 9/11 was the world's biggest Jenga game. Who would win? 30 Marine trained gorillas versus 1 kangaroo with ultra instinct. Dickalodian. The king of haphazard is dead. You're stealing money from a dead man. The sky bass still trucking through horizon. Back alley end pass dealer. Kawaii in the streets. Subarashi in the sheets. Sweeney, listen. I auto-corrected your name for you, but I'm going to read it as you wrote it. Sweeney, listen, it's not longer 1922. Stop doing blackface. You could have just got in there and got rid of the T. It's free of charge. It's not like Xbox Live in 2008 where you have to pay $10 to change your name. You fucked up. Kamehameha. Saint Maxi, can you please get my friend Brandon to pay his taxes? He's literally evading them. This isn't a joke. Help. Talos Valkyran, Apothecary of the First Claw, 10th Company, 8th Legion. All Sawal. Okay, you said it right. The Tale of Mega Man X8 guy and the question Patreon hides from the Snark Tank Boys, featuring Dante from Devil May Cry series. Avi, I became a patron and spent $25 not to be able to come up with a clever name. Wage Slave 583. Cumsicle. Steven, where's the brandy? I once went a week and a half without shitting and really plugged up the toilet. God bless you.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. That's, I can't help you. Dead Inside, Shrinkus Funkeldunk, the Warlock who is using transversive steps. Proaz, I challenge the other Connor King to a fight to the death. There can only be one. Sweeney, it's okay. My girlfriend isn't real either. I have PPSD. Ryber 525, and the mystery of the sudden uptick in tomboy appreciation. Racist Snake, it's about dick. It's about dick. Men are from dick, but I'm from dick. Put it in the dick, spank him in the dick, and take what's dick.
That's excellent.
That's
much better than my bullshit.
I like it. That's a good one. That is that's the shining one today. Yeah. The Vex simulations are back. Hide your kids, hide your husbands. Tell them Steve Dave, Andre Brooks, Antiphus Maximus, the host of Mussolini's Pinata Party. God is dead because Travis Scott killed him. John Strickland, Big Boo Sniggins, Mercs 1889, Downey McFrowney, NFT of Sweeney's imaginary girlfriend. I got hit by a I got hit by a string op during a funeral and I'm pissed. Goops McKenzie. Ooh waha. I'm a little bitch. I'm the king of the Jews. All right.
What?
I'm just reading. Drunken Doulahan. Pre-Roz. Okay, on to page 2. Breaking Benjamin Shapiro. Cum Man. The Man of Cum. Wheeler's Day Off. Blake 896. Mario spreading his asshole live on Twitch while watching MasterChef. The Epic Oshawott. The Whitest Cracker. Fucking kill me. Hey, Boss Bar. I know 2 of you left. Ryan Lucchesi, Sloshy Scout. The Egyptian name Emotep is pronounced in my honest opinion Tep. Oh my god.
Stupid.
That's so dumb. That's so dumb. That's like a dad joke that a dad isn't hip enough to understand. You know, man.
You should open with that open mic.
Yeah, yeah. Can you fucking imagine? Oh my god. I would shoot him. Ryu is Hoke, the ghost of the quartering's shit-covered britches laid to rest in a Walmart trash can. The Russian warship, go fuck yourself. That was a crazy fucking...
Nice.
You saw that? That video
yeah, man.
Of the fucking... Insane. Badass.
Snake Island or whatever?
Yeah, I think it's what it's just like really close to Wake Island, which is a battlefield map. A little weird.
I thought it was Shadow Moses, to be honest.
Shadow Moses. Hard Hat Skydiver. Pittsburgh Bagel. Alaskan Oilfield Trash. Marcus Shorten. Vladdy put it in spanking Ukrainian octogenarians. Game Controller 25. Nikki Ziggy. Murder Ascended. Really weird how they just uploaded an entire episode of Silence for episode 100 and keep talking about it like it was an actual episode. Lobotomized Jesus is and his merry band of figure nuggets. 1 meter long fetus. The only stick I touch while driving is my penis. Parentheses, I masturbate while driving. Hiroshima Spicy Mushrooms. Dummy Thick Dave. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. That's a pretty nice cock. Sweeney's Clown Pussy goes honk honk. Yummy 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 come inside my tummy. Jackson Absage. Badly Brave. Hugger Derek the movie theater manager. Aetherian. Chris Gate my Pajarian hunting ass. All hands on dick. The best episodes of the Snark Tank are the ones where Derek is gone. I don't like Derek. Fuck you. There's no way. He's just trying to fuck with you. I recognize the picture. Man, the saddest words of tongue or pen. Alex Jones was right again. I don't know. Richter 86, and as always, King of Haphazard, who has not changed his name, who I'm getting really concerned about.
Yeah,
bro,
this is kind of weird.
You gotta. This is our only way to communicate with you, bro. You gotta change your name.
What if he's alive and he just skips like the end? He's like, what if he's just one of those? He's I've heard it.
What? Honestly, it would make sense. Because I don't know how many people stick through to the end of these, but I can't imagine it's the majority of people. It's credits.
Right. So, it's the people that change their names to clever shit, hoping that we react to the name.
Yeah,
but he never changes it. So what's the point?
I'm gonna open the show.
Or he's fucking dead. Or he's dead.
I'm gonna open the show next week.
That's a good idea.
With his name, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, welcome to the Snark Tank, King of Haphazard. If you're listening to us, do something, so we know you're safe." But anyway, that's gonna be it for us today. I did want to mention something really quickly. It might take me a second to find, so Derek, if you might. There's pretty much no editing that's required in this entire episode, but at the end here, it might take me a second.
I'll just occupy the time, so I don't have to touch anything, So, yeah, how about that war, huh? I mean, it's pretty crazy. Fucking, if Kiev is taken over, then it's gonna be crazy. And like, my hot ass lady is over in Lithuania, all freaking out, because she's in one of the Baltic states that could be all fucked up and shit. But as long as she stays diligent and doesn't get caught up in that bullshit, she does have several guns. She's got some Stinger missiles too. She only has 2 Stinger missiles, but it's enough to maybe if there's a helicopter or maybe there's like a Metal Gear around, you just shoot it with the Stinger missile. Because the Russians have Metal Gears, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, they all have that shit.
Yeah. So okay. But hopefully she's safe and everything is good. You got it?
Yeah, I got it. So sorry about that. I had to make sure the URL worked. So we'll mention this again because luckily tickets are not sold out yet. But we'll mention this again at the start of the next episode. I keep forgetting. But I assume because it's been said on the Patreon, a lot of the people who are interested in coming have gotten their tickets. But if you haven't, if you go to tinyurl.com/sacred200, there are tickets there for our live show. We are going to be doing a live episode of the podcast. I'm going to be doing 2. I'm going to be doing Sacred Symbols and Snark Tank, but we are opening with Snark Tank. We're doing a whole hour show. Interacting with you guys in person, taking your questions live, and having some fun with the audience in person over in Richmond, Virginia. The tickets are for sale right now. I think there are still a decent number left, but they're still for sale. So obviously there's some left. So go to tinyurl.com/sacred200, and if you're interested in that, we'll see you over in Richmond on April 30th.
Let's fucking go.
And that's it. Goodbye.